So I'm in the little dog's yard, the small side of the house. You can see we had a bit of water. Well, we had a lot of water, it rained. So at my house I had over 200 millimetres, so 20 centimetres, that's quite a lot of water. Anyway, things have gone nuts. So I thought I'd follow on from my first video with a second, somewhat similar, how to improve your garden growth amazingly and save the planet. G'day folks, Andy here from McDowell Manor. Often show the Japanese garden area. It's actually quite pretty. There's no edibles in there, but you can see the entire hallway in fact looks out into this garden. It really is quite nice. Yes, the pump does work when I bother to put water in there. My problem has been take water out, not put it in. Anyway, back to what we're really here to talk about, hey? You can see even the grass is growing like a mad thing. I only cut that 3 days ago, and I'll use my model's foot. It's almost ankle deep. In fact, it is ankle deep in parts. But I don't mow my lawn. I harvest the grass, and all of those lawn cuttings, including all of these leaves, when I get round to raking that up, will go in our compost. Now, if you don't compost already, I strongly recommend you do, because remember the first video we talked about adding horse poo? You can also add anything organic, goes straight into your compost. And I do, because you can probably hear the girls in the background, chickens. You can see all their bedding. There's a banana peel, look at that. There's a bit of an apple. Anything organic at all goes in here, including chicken poo, or in there, chicken poo, quail poo, bedding I scrape up from around the place, little bits and pieces, sorry about the clothes washing on the line, little bits and pieces. If I trim plants, it goes into the compost. If it's too big for the compost and I don't think it's gonna break down quick enough, I shove it in the pizza oven and set fire to it, and then the ashes go in the compost, because that's good for a lot of minerals. So you girls donate your poo to the composting cause, don't you? That's right. You quails contribute yours as well. Yes, I know. I did tell everybody that the bedding in your pen, which is full of poo, goes in the compost too. We thank you for your contributions. What's that, fishies? You donate all your poo to the composting cause as well. Well, you pretty much do actually, because it's your poo that provides all the nutrients and growth capacity for all the aquaponic system. But not only that, but whenever I clean out the filters, because there's a couple of filters on one on the end of each motor, it's full of the most wonderful worm tea, well, fish tea, pre-made, that you'll ever see. Really is wonderful. Yes, as I clean out the water, as in the quail cages and chicken pen, that gets reused for the garden too. And not only that, this is a worm farm. Oh, look at that. They contribute, they break down, you can see they love avocado, that's why it's full of avocado. But all that dirt material gets used on the garden. Well, I guess everyone's familiar with worm farms. Fabulous way to go. Little bin down there, my friends, under the kitchen sink, right beside the rubbish bin, is where we put any organic rubbish. That all goes in the compost, obviously. I have one of those drip coffee machines. All the coffee grounds go in there, including the filter paper, and that gets in the oh gee, that scared me. No, that's only the kids next door. That all goes in the compost too. So we in fact halved our garbage when I started composting. Well, there's lemons on, there's figs on, which I was really happy about. So, you know, at one stage I remember I used to do a Sunday night sneak around the neighbourhood and get rid of the spare garbage that wouldn't fit my own bin. Well, we don't even half fill our bin anymore. It really has made an incredible difference. And all of that compost is just used in our own yards. And once I get a bit of water, that's a peach tree, once I get a bit of water, things just go nuts. It's fantastic. They really love it. So if I was about to give an advanced gardener tip based on the compost and poo theory, what I'd be talking about is some gardeners say you don't actually grow your plants. What you're growing is your soil. Well, there's a kind of a truth to that, well and truly, because what I always consider I'm trying to do is feed up the microbes in the soil. And it's those microbes and things that really get your plants going. They're the transport system for all the vitamins and minerals and food and sugar and stuff that the plants need to get going are carried by the microbes. So between the two, composting and adding organics, so everything gets chopped and dropped. So if these sort of soft leaves, for example, you can see they just all get thrown straight on the bed as mulch. Can't complain about that, can you? So by all means, if you're new to gardening, start your composting now. It does actually take a little while for a compost bin to get going. And once you get the microbes and stuff growing in there, you'll find that your compost turns around. It breaks down in about a quarter of the time that it took the first couple of loads. So what about the smell? Am I going to be a bad neighbour if I compost? Absolutely not. My compost bins smell like dirt, like earth. They don't stink. If they stink, you're probably too wet, in which case turn it, just turn it over, hence the pitchfork there, and don't let it get wet. Try and let it dry out for a while and you'll find it'll go back to that beautiful earthy smell. If it's too dry, you can in fact just add a little bit of water to it. You'll notice if it's too dry. Anyway, so I hope someone found that interesting. Feel free to make comments. If you think I'm talking rubbish, you can tell me that. I don't mind. Alright folks, you have a good one, eh? Uru.